Our chat's going to be in the middle, I guess is what I was trying to say, in the middle of where the box where I normally put the episode details. That's going to have that. I think that's the best I can do. I don't have whatever color that Puck used for the purple. I couldn't get, so otherwise I could have faked the banner at the bottom. It did what it could.
Oh, jeez, mute. Oh, jeez, mute.
Are you playing things for everybody?
Yeah, I had to mute us.
Let's just make.
Yeah, I had to mute us.
Diamond Club hopes you have
On the
enjoyed
other
this
machine.
That was apparently very loud. Is that what I'm hearing?
I was fine. I was fine.
Okay. Well,
I thought it was fine.
The thing is, the volume to you guys is different than the volume to the recording and also to the universe. So
it'll be fine.
Good.
It'll be fine.
She was just startled.
I can deal with
She was just startled.
Like my ear holes. They used to exist. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, we're doing an Apple Music trial. Yeah, we're doing an Apple Music trial, and then we got this great industrial mix. Turned the playlist on, and I turned the playlist on at the gym, and got my earbuds ready and paired up, and then I started playing and didn't realize my volume was all the way up, so I had NWO like.
Okay, why does it want to keep changing your video? Can we talk about this?
I mean, mostly it's because it's the word.
I mean, mostly it's because
If
it's
I
the
had to
worst.
wager a guess
If I had to wager a guess
from experience.
from experience.
Look at you fancy over there. Okay, see, it's you. You're changing your resolution, right? There's got to be a change.
Who, me?
Or is it just
I'm
NDI, NTech
I'm
just being
touching
special every time? I dig it. Okay.
I'm gonna go for that second one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for that second
It's
one.
like if it keeps changing you. I don't even know. September's does this all the time too. You know what it is? See? See? I'm not crazy, right? Now I feel like I'm being fucked with. Now I'm just gonna leave him in the corner. The universe
I'm
is
used
fucking
to it.
with me, so I'm gonna fuck
That's
back.
why I'm used to it.
That sounds weird.
Oh,
Is this kind of
Yeah, remember, we have
podcast?
we have no
You're gonna need more than
censorship.
one of these.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need more than one of these.
He's the mysterious corner man. He's the mysterious corner man. All you can see are his eyes, his little Kilroy.
Let's see. All of the places. I tap things in all of the places.
Are you seriously gonna leave his camera like that? Are you seriously gonna leave his camera like that, Jen?
Because I'm only here.
I'll share on our Facebook. I'll share on our Facebook.
I got the Twitter.
Right.
Oh, look there, it fixed itself.
Oh,
look there, it fixed
Is he
itself.
fucking with me? Please tell me you're fucking with me, because otherwise I don't
I
understand what's
wish. Honestly, I wish. Honestly,
like,
it would have been really on brand. It would have been really
I know
on
it would have.
brand
That's
for
why
me,
like I would
but
take.
I wouldn't know how.
That's just a normal day with you, honestly.
You know, it's just gonna wait. You know, it's just gonna wait until we're actually recording.
Well, we're recording now,
and
and
then
we're
we're do it
live
again.
now. But
It's gonna be
I
like,
mean, when
damn
we're
it,
actually
like-
doing the show,
I mean, like, it's just gonna do that. When we're in the show, it's just gonna do that just randomly.
it's all right. I
Just
was
with you.
streaming.
Seems about right.
I was not broadcasting to my friends. That's a lie. But I was streaming to my. We were watching Ruby, and all of a sudden, it OBS decided to change monitors, and people were like, "So we're just gonna stare at your paladin's like horse's ass for like a while, or are we gonna go back to the show?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I wasn't also playing video games when we were watching this." That was never doing that ever.
Fine.
It's fine. It's a
Old
horse's ass.
multitasking.
Mhm.
Old multitasking.
The only thing that I can think of is that it is when I move my Skype window because Windows thinks that it's in charge of my life. And
It did it again.
no, I'm moving it
It did
now.
it
This is
again,
me
okay.
actually. This is me actually trying
Okay.
to make it function.
That's actually you. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna
actually
try
you.
that. In theory.
No, don't.
Now,
No, don't.
now it's
Now that I know for sure is not real. What's up, Grizz?
Very subtle.
We are gonna be alive soon. Like we're here, but we're gonna be really alive soon.
alive. We're gonna be
Yeah. That's
alive.
Do I
Yeah,
have?
that sounds
Okay, I
about
keep
right.
debating whether or not I want to talk about the Blizzard shitstorm or not. Can we get a vote, yes or no, for the news on the Blizzard shitstorm?
Yeah, as long as we don't drag it out too
I
much. Yeah, as
think
long as we don't drag it out too
you,
much.
Like, because you like something. That's a big part of. So obviously
you
you're
like
gonna
to
have
play.
opinions. So
Like
obviously you're
every
gonna have
video game.
opinions.
Hashtag not awkward. Let's see. Okay, I dig that. That looks good. I'm not dropping frames. This is nice. Good, good, good. You know what? Let's just try that and see if it just doesn't decide to be a douchebag. Linda, you chopped your hair off, by the way. I meant to say it when I saw you in the Extra Life. It looks super cute.
Thanks. Thanks. This has been a little bit. This has been a little bit. It's hard to tell with I actually need to get the headphones on, but I actually need to get it trimmed again. It's getting a little long. I need to fix my camera.
I feel like I remember when you had cut it, but it got even cooler.
It was a little while ago. There we go. Fix camera.
I hate that my glasses that have the anti-glare on them are broken.
Oh.
I'm crafting a tweet. Why is that so complicated?
Is someone echoing? Who do you think is echoing? Who do you think is echoing?
I hear
I don't
no
hear an
echoing.
echoing.
But they say there's lots of echoing. That not good.
All right, let me.
Amy, your googly eyes aren't facing front.
Oh no. Well, I don't have a choice. Well,
you can't
I don't have a
rotate them?
choice. No.
Oh, you
'cause
can't
I-
rotate
Is that a
them?
real
Yeah,
thing
like,
right
unless
now?
they're actual
Lots of
unless I
echoing
like,
for
unless I
real?
move my thing.
Unless I like.
I thought you
move
always
my thing.
pointed more
Oh,
you always
found it.
pointed more
Found it.
Unless it's
forward.
static.
My apologies. The echoing die? Did the echoing die? Other people need to talk because apparently I was the only one that wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
All right. Is this better?
Are we there yet?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that killed it.
Yay, we did
that killed it. I
it.
turned it on. It was like, holy shit. We were all echoing over each other except you.
Yay, we
Yeah,
did
that killed it. I
it.
turned it
Oh
on.
god, there's so much echoing now.
All right, now that's. Hold on, I have to remute the stream. I had muted my mic so I could listen to the stream, and then I heard that echoing, and then I came back. Yeah.
They say it's better now. Yay!
Yay, we did it. We did it, Reddit.
And thanks, chat, for catching it for us, because we
Yes.
would not have noticed.
No.
Especially before I push the like actual we're doing stuff now thing. I still can't find the grilling audio to get it connected to my stream deck. I don't know how I've managed to screw that up every time.
Should we just make sizzling noises?
I feel like that's weirder. Maybe.
I can add it in post, and
Hashtag too
I'll email you the
weird.
file for future use.
Hashtag too weird.
Because it might actually not be in our drive. It might just be on my local.
Also, why do I always look so ghostly white? I mean, I know I'm ghostly white, but like I look particularly ghostly white whenever we do this.
I'm
Not
sure
next
there's
to me, you don't.
I'm sure there's a setting on your camera that you could be like, make me not look like ghoster.
I tried to mess with my white balance. It doesn't seem to be fixing it. So I figured at this point,
I have a paint window in my other monitor that's a lovely pink color, so that it reflects off me.
Is that how you do it? That's look at you,
Oh, yeah.
fancy.
Right?
You're so fancy.
That's a good idea.
So
I just set
lovely.
my camera to alive.
Trade secrets.
There you go. Stick with me, kid.
Look at that. I just put that like red up and I already look better. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's like she
See?
knows stuff.
Almost.
All right, I'm going to find Kibler's statement because that's the one thing I think I want to go to is Kibler's statement because I feel like that was really well put together. And then
Right, I wanna- we have. Boop.
All right. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Doing the thing.
Cool. That's exactly what I wanted. Thanks, guys.
Make myself look green. Not working. It's just making me look paler. No way.
No, that's
Because
not what I
that's how
wanted.
color wheels work, September.
How do color wheels work?
Yeah, let's not do that. That's a whole show.
No.
You ready?
Does anybody have an article for the whole like Fortnite live thing being at 4.3 million viewers today and being one of the most watched video game events of all time?
I'm sure
No.
there's. I don't have that.
Does anyone care?
Pretty
Oh,
much
you
this
care.
is Jen politely asking Hey, can somebody find me a link for that?
Well, I figured we have guests, so I wasn't too worried about filling out
no,
news.
for sure. That was just a really quick hit, but yeah, it was crazy.
If you need to fill out time, I petted some cats at the pet store yesterday, so I can talk for 45 minutes just
Don't
about
talk
that.
about cats. We're not allowed to talk about cats in the entire episode. In 2 weeks, you'll know why.
Will I know why?
No. I live in a universe. I'm like Schrodinger's contestant. I'm both on and perhaps not on ANTP at all times.
It's the worst, isn't it?
It's like my mom and then my dad today spent like 20 minutes trying to explain to him why what he was listening to was from 2 weeks ago, but yet I know what happened, and I'm like, Dad, you're not like, you get this, right? Like,
you know how TV works, right? Same thing.
There we go. I found a thing for you, Jen.
Thank
you.
you
Go. Well, not about the Fortnite.
That's fine. Whatever it is.
Road spell.
Thanks for the host.
Spell. Yay!
Thanks for the host, Puck. I dig it. All right, yeah, we'll hit the Blizzard thing. That'll probably be plenty anyway. Rock and roll. I'm good. September, you're hosting.
Yep.
I feel like I'm so zoomed in. Try one more time. Then we good. It's gonna mess everything up, though, isn't it? It is. Doesn't really matter, though, to be honest. There we go. That's a little better. Don't all talk at once. Sorry.
Well, I'm just waiting for you to hit the intro.
Oh, I wasn't like gonna go yet. I'm sorry. I was still fixing my camera. My bad. All right, I'm ready to go now.
Go.
I will see because he's frozen again and tiny. Why does this keep happening to you? Why does this?
But why me?
I don't know. And then it fixes itself.
Ball finally hit its shrinkage. Deal with it.
Do you have like an
But
auto?
it's not even that cold. It was beautiful outside today.
See, it literally doesn't want to let you be a normal size. See, I
mean, this is a pretty accurate representation of what it's like to work with him.
I was gonna say, how's that podcast going? Is it going good?
This is pretty close.
Podcast is going fine.
Do you have like an autofocus? I think it's every time you talk, Skype decides that you need to be a different size window.
Skype's the problem.
Yeah, no, it probably is.
Is Skype sexist?
So doing video ducking now instead of audio ducking? Great.
It doesn't have anything to do with your blur being on, does it? I don't think it would.
No, because it was happening before he had his blur on.
Skype is weird. It does weird shit.
This is some pretty fun 15 minutes of shit. I'm sorry, guys.
Glitchy as hell.
Yeah, normally we don't have 5 people, and normally Skype doesn't do this much stupid shit. See? You're going to exist in 2 sizes. That one and the other one, it occasionally changes too. If it at some point takes over the entire screen, we'll deal with it. Sorry, kids. You get a little too little or too much of J.
Honey, I shrunk the author.
A little too much or too little?
Much. Is there?
There's never too much. Always just enough. All right. All right. I am going to go
I'm about
now.
to be invaded.
Oh, shit.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, the kittens! All the kittens! Where are all the kittens?
Yep, my kitty's up here too.
Yep, everybody showed up.
September is now a kitten.
Hi, Sally. What you doing?
All right, we ready, kids? All right, this is a real. Are we ready, kids? I'm gonna actually push the button.
Yeah, we need to ask that a few more times.
All right. Well, to be fair, this has been complicated trying to make this scene work.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the production.
And the NDI tech thing works sometimes. All right. We're here.
Just leave it.
Just leave it.
Oh, it's good. No, it's happening. That's where he lives now. I don't need... As long as it doesn't take over the entire screen, it's fine. C'est la vie. All right. Cool.
I guess we're down to this now.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Rob went and got a crowler of a nice local stout, and I'm really looking forward to it right now.
I'm gonna push a button soon.
Okay.
Games, gear, grills. Welcome to the Geek Grills Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 146 of Geek Grills. The Geek Grills podcast is supported primarily by our patrons. Please go today to patreon.com/grills and support this geeky thing some women are hosting. I am Ember, also known as 9 of 12, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Linda.
Hello.
And the Jen.
Hi.
Now today we also have two special guests, JF Dubeau, an author.
Hello.
And podcaster, apparently now with Amy Frost, famous from ANTP and other forays into the internet.
Hello.
So what have you been up to this geeky week, Linda?
Well, I just got back literally like a couple hours ago from my LARP from this weekend. It's Garden of Destinies. If my voice is a little not frosty, that's the wrong word. If my voice doesn't sound quite up to par, it's because I've been singing all weekend and it was very dusty. So I may be doing the coughing thing a little bit. I'll try not to cough into my microphone.
It's all good. We'll live.
But yeah, I'll live. But yeah, since my LARP character is a singer, I was doing the singing thing and being all out there, and I am done being an extrovert for a little while.
Like, I feel like that's like, I should be like a new hashtag, like extrovert only while LARPing or something.
Yeah, pretty much. That's when my extrovert comes out. But it was so pretty this whole weekend. It's finally fall weather, and I wish fall weather lasted more than 2 weeks in Georgia. It was just so pretty, and I was like, hey, I'm not sweating buckets, and also I'm not freezing. I'm so happy.
Aww.
But it will not stay this way, alas.
Yeah, it's like that here too. Like fall is way too super short, and we've been hiking on Sundays waiting for fall color, and now there is a decent amount, and it rained.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, I'm Jen, I was gonna warn you, but I think it's funnier this way. So I'm still working on Ember's little plushie, little dragon. I have a leg.
No decapitated crochet. No more decapitated. We're like limbs.
Severed limbs.
Okay, so seriously, those of you that don't know, like one of the first episodes where we started doing Linda's plushie updates, she pulls out. She's like, "Oh yeah, and I was working on a Charizard or something." And or Charmander, and it's like just this this dismembered Pokemon leg, and I'm like, I was not emotionally prepared to see like weird dismembered Pokemon today.
This is my jam.
I once had a suitcase full of deflated raccoonicorns.
See?
And it was alarming.
No, that's
I
terrifying.
remember the deflated raccoonicorns.
Yeah.
That was
was
my
good.
cover band in college. I don't know what we covered, but we covered something, and it was funny. Oh God, that's awesome.
So what about
though.
you, Jen? What have you been up to?
The dragon is on its way. So I finished my rewatch of Ruby, which is great because the new season comes out on November 3rd, I think. So pretty excited for that. That's been fun stuff, and it's always fun to like get other people who have never seen it and force it upon them, and it's even more exciting when you do that and they actually enjoy the thing that you force them into. So pretty much that. Let's see. Hearthstone actually has been existing for me again. I actually have been playing ranked for like a minute, so we'll see if that continues. Of course, I'm still trudging towards 60 in WoW Classic, which hopefully I might actually get there in the next week. I think I'm on track to get there within the next week. So, obviously spending lots of time with all things associated with America's Next Top Podcaster. Just a reminder, I think week 3 is now up at americasnexttop.podcaster.com. Also, I got a job. So, Jen has been
You
on
sound thrilled.
super excited. Couldn't be more excited to go back to a daily schedule of letting somebody else tell me what to do with my life. Yay, job. No. I'm both excited and also terrified to continue to do all the things I'm doing and also put a 40-hour work week back into that mix. So, I know I'm super excited to have a job, but it is definitely going to be a bit of a transition, for sure.
So, Amy, JF, I don't know.
Whoever you are.
Jean-Francois. What have you guys been up to this week?
Well, I had my good friend January came down from up near Toronto. And so because I live near Boston and it is October, there is only one thing that people want to do. So we went to Salem, which was bonkers. Yeah, it's real spoopy up there right now. And there are an awful lot of people. I somehow managed to not buy a $200 witch hat, which is I'm both proud and disappointed in myself. Yeah, so that's been the highlight of my week.
Can we collect people with month names, by the way?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be good?
We're going to be like, everybody's heard April. Everybody's met an April or a May, I think, maybe. Maybe a June.
Here's the best part about January. Her birthday is February 1st. And it is outstanding.
Did her parents name? Like, I feel like that's like
I think that's on purpose. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's like some...
Are you saying her parents were trolling her?
I feel like
I haven't asked her about this, and she's going to listen to this, and then I'm going to hear about it, but...
I'm kind of jealous.
Considered naming one of my sons October and just saying, well, we can just call him Toby, and he came after September.
That's freaking adorable.
That's good.
Okay, see? That's fantastic. Troll your kids, people. Troll your kids. I'm not going to have any, so do it for me. Go out there.
I command thee.
Right. How about you, sir? Any interesting geekies this week?
I've been, what is it? Like 2 weeks ago, I turned in a last edition of a manuscript I was working on for the last 18 months. Some sort of tasting the fruits of freedom for once again in my life. It's been kind of weird. So I've been playing more Overwatch. I've been playing more miniatures. Yesterday I did the geekiest thing in the world, which was take the painstakingly painted tiny planes I made and play a game with the tiny planes. And it was the best thing ever. I also went to my parents who live in the Eastern Township, and their tiny village of Bromo is all decked out for Halloween. It's a very upper class little city, very retirement age people there. So it's a lot of very fancy building, very touristic, and they've got all these decorations and activities, and it just looks like murders are gonna happen. It was great. It's one of those places you wander around, and there's so many people, and there's strollers, and everyone's happy, and it just looks too wholesome. You're like, yeah, the old gods are coming.
Well, you're also
brain blood.
Is it there's some Stepford Wives bullshit going on? That kind of?
Not quite. We just it's really one of those scenes from a horror movie where the kids are trick or treating way before dark, so doesn't look shouldn't be fun. You should all look pissed, but no, they're all happy still. But it's a few days before Halloween, so the decorations are there and people are doing things, but
right before
murders are on their way.
Yeah, right before everything goes to hell.
Oh, absolutely.
Basically.
The streets are going to be slick with blood. It's going to be great. Can't wait to go back.
Hippie. Well, I am really, really good at this time, I promise. I want to start finally learning to use my ukulele. Like, I got it, and I didn't do it, and I didn't do it, and I tried a little, and then I stopped, and then one of the kids' friends broke a string, and I just got that looked at, and then I got Rob to tune it for me the other day, so that's a start.
Yeah.
We're going to be spending a little more time. It was like, we need alone processing being, separate people time. So that's going to be one of my little self-help projects. Also, I've been collecting costumes, as I mentioned before. Anybody who wants to contribute, contact me to send money or mail me costumes. I got word I'll be getting some more sizes tomorrow, but my sister's house, one of the shelters I provide Halloween costumes for, has a lot of older kids this year, and most of my inventory is for small children right now. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge and a scramble to get all the kids in the shelters in town their costumes this year. I appreciate any help anyone offers.
By the way, just a reminder for those of you that aren't hip to what this is, basically it's the costume fairy. So September, make sure that the kids at local children's homes have costumes to have for Halloween so that they can have memories of Halloween and get a chance to dress up. And it's really awesome. So yes, Please, if you can.
When everything else in your life sucks, go trick or treating.
Yeah, and it's like the memories are way amazing too, because then they'll have those, and that's awesome.
Yeah, they'll have something that they own. Because especially at my sister's house, that's the battered women's shelter. A lot of these families had to like pick up in the middle of the night and run and have nothing. Right? So anyway, with that, it's time to move on to the Geek Grapevine.
Crew team, assemble! Geek Grills Grapevine.
So I don't know about the rest of you, but I am super happy there's going to be at least one more solo Marvel Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Mm-hmm. He made a deal with Sony. He, at a con, my understanding, ran into some execs and had a meeting and started using his star power to push it.
He's such a good Spider-Man, so I'm very happy about this. Like, he is honestly my favorite of all the Spider-Men.
He's doing fantastic. So, and also as part of the arrangement, he's going to appear in a future Marvel movie, so they don't have to cut him back out of those.
That helps.
Yep. Yeah, it would have been really awkward otherwise, but yeah. So we don't know the terms exactly yet, but that's what we do know, and hooray.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hooray.
So Jen wants to talk about
I don't
Blizzard shitstorm. Yeah, but we should, because we're those nerds, and I've loved that company for a long time, and I had the 2-for-1 on that day because Apple also did a huge disappointing bullshit that day. So
yeah, it was kind of a rough day. So for those of you that don't know, basically Blizzard handed down a year-long ban to a pro Hearthstone player, and it happened. And that basically is what caused the whole thing to kick off. Now, in the time since then, and one of the big things I want to mention is that they also handed a ban to casters as well. So it got really nasty. There was a lot of back and forth. They did finally release a statement just a couple days ago on Friday that they actually are walking back the year-long ban to just a 6-month ban. So I do feel a lot better about that. And they're also, the other part was they had said no prize money, and they actually pulled back on that and are actually, the prize money is going to go through to the Hearthstone Pro player, and then the bans got cut in half. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and basically what it is that the player used the post-game interview as an opportunity to call for the liberation of Hong Kong. And one of the things I want to make sure that I'm including in here, I think Brian Kibler is a caster that we all know I love and appreciate. And I really liked his take on it. I think he was very level-headed in his statement about it. So I did include a link for that. It'll be in the show notes. But just talked about the fact that, like, hey, is it cool for how Blizzard reacted to this initially? No, definitely not. At the same time, you keep those things separate. You can't. You got to be, there's certain terms of service that you agree to, and terms that you agree to when you participate in that kind of an event, and taking that and using it as a platform in that way is like you said, he's very political in his personal life, but he would never share those political opinions in the middle of a cast for Hearthstone, for example. And that's the kind of thing that I think is important to take away from this, that there is some, this isn't just all Blizzard being bad, I guess, which is what the initial reaction was, and that's why I wanted to make sure and say something about it.
Yeah, my son came to me with it, and he was really upset and mad at Blizzard, and I was like, well, I don't know until I read the contract he signed to enter the tournament if he promised he wasn't going to do that. So he may be forfeit, and that's just true. It's a shitty thing to do, but if he signed on for it, he knew what he was getting into, he took that risk. So I still don't know the terms of that agreement, but it sounds like a compromise was come to.
Judging from the statement from the player that he put out after the money was reinstated and the ban was cut in half, he was well aware of the risks he was taking. I have a bit of a controversial stance on this in that I don't think Blizzard acted wrong, in the sense that the initial ban and cutting of the money seems harsh, but it's a lot easier for a company to walk back from a harsh sentence than to add to a sentence afterwards if they deem it necessary. And another point that kind of struck me immediately is Blizzard has employees in China.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. So, and China it's a very blurry place to know and anticipate how their government is going to react to a company allowing certain statements on their platform. So I can understand that to apply the harshest letter of their agreement on and try to, I say, save face towards China, if only for, I don't know, the benefit of the employees, is Blizzard was dealt a really bad hand, and I feel that they acted quickly, if harshly, allowing themselves the leeway to then adjust back.
I agree. I definitely agree. And the other piece that I think is really important here, and I think sometimes we as gamers and everything else, just being a lot of us that just love Blizzard, we don't think about the fact that this is a business and there are a lot of people that rely on this business to continue to perform. And there's a lot of very complex things going on in the background. And there are stakeholders, there are investors, there's a lot. It's not.
It's just hard to swallow. It's just hard to swallow it coming right down to the money when you have good feels about a company and all their social, issues that we agree with them encouraging, diversity and everything else. And then something like this is hard to swallow.
Watching this cat just climb Amy during this very intense conversation is probably my favorite thing on the planet.
She's a good girl.
It is pretty cool. That cat's awesome. No, but the thing is, it's a no-win situation because, on one hand, they put the ban and they're the bad guys because they're silencing someone who's bringing up a very, valid thing to, on the political stage worldwide. On the other hand, if they don't do anything and then, I don't know, some of their employees suddenly wind up in Chinese prison for some reason, then they're the bad guys for not taking care of their employees correctly.
No, exactly.
It's super touchy. And us as individuals, my relationship with Blizzard is I play Overwatch. Yay, I get loot boxes sometimes. So my personal investment in Blizzard is emotional, maybe, but very minimal. So
it's not your livelihood, but it was that gamer's livelihood.
Oh, yeah.
True, but he did state that he knew what he was getting into, which, to his credit, very courageous of him to risk that much to be able to make that statement. And kudos for doing that. But also, that's the thing. This is one of those situations where there's no winner. There's no good guy. Well, there's good guy in the sense that the player was a good guy in doing what he did. But it's hard to say there's a definite villain. Blizzard is this autocratic, mean company because they were stuck in a really hard place, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, and that's why I wanted to make sure and mention it. Also, autoplay on websites is probably my least favorite thing ever. Everything does it ever. All right, so I got a spill. It looks like yes. Oh, good. This is like 3 days ago. Hell yeah, this is like a new spill. Okay,
it's also really funny to me.
Oh god. Okay, beer spills all over parking lot of Latter-day Saint meeting house after truck crashes. Yes. This is such a good one.
And people say there's no God.
So these people, oh god. So cans of beer, and those of you that don't know, this is a thing we do because it's my favorite subset of weird odd news, which is road spills. It's my favorite thing. I love it so much. Cans of beer have littered the parking lot of a meeting house, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Sandy, after a semi-trailer car crash that was carrying cases of the brew. Oh boy, let's see here. Do we have any good puns? Usually we're also pretty good for a couple decent puns too. Oh my god. All right, so oh Jesus. So Nielsen said the semi-trailer suffered non-life-threatening injuries, of course. So nobody was, and the pickup truck driver that was also involved wasn't hurt. So that's great. Oh, they didn't put how many hours it took for them to clean it up. I guess because it was a parking lot. But, oh my god.
Yeah.
Pictures on this one are so good. There's just beer just everywhere. My guess is nobody there was going to take advantage of the beer sliding around the parking lot.
No, if you read down, actually, this particular church, one of their things is no alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can totally imagine 36 raccoons just rushing out of the
woods. My time has come.
And that's what that cover band is. With the
I mean no shade against anyone who is part of that religion, but it's irony that spilled out into that particular parking lot.
Yeah, no, that's the most ridiculous part, is that literally out of all the places, because anywhere else it'd been like anybody would come and forage for that, but that's probably the one parking lot where they'll recover whatever they have left of that. Oh my god, that looks awful.
Yeah.
There's just sad beer cans everywhere. I don't even have a good pun. I'm sad. I'm a little disappointed though. Usually, it's a Hall of Bud Light too. Even better.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also water. It's cool.
Also water.
It just brings me to Barn of the Blood Llama now. Water,
Jesus.
water.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
nobody's gonna get that reference.
It's okay, September. No, I'm with
Really
you.
bad, really obscure movie. It's okay.
Oh boy.
So now into the meat of the show. I understand that Amy and JF Dubeau have a new podcast they'd like to talk about. So tell us all about this project and where people can find it.
So this new show that we're putting together is called Willow. It's sort of halfway between a radio drama and a audiobook. And it tells the story of Miriam, a young woman from Montreal who has aspirations to become a chef. And she has this whole life plan, and all of a sudden everything sort of crumbles down around her. And she's sort of lost and doesn't know what she's going to do until this mysterious envelope shows up at her house. And this brings her to the sleepy little town of Willow, which is on the border between Canada and Vermont. And literally on the border, like over the border, like on both sides of the border. And it turns out that there's a lot more going on there than is on the surface. A lot of weird things. A lot of very weird things. A lot of weird, scary things. And she gets sucked into this world. And it's going to be really good.
Yeah, so spell this for me, because I'm like...
Willow.
Okay.
ACHEWILLOW.
Okay, so it is like literally...
Yep.
Like I have a toothache and then willow like
Yes.
the tree. Okay.
Yes.
So
where did this idea come from? That you're starting on the premise of wanting to start a restaurant is very interesting to me because I have such dreams.
You might find this interesting then. The whole idea actually comes from America's Next Top Podcaster, because Amy and I have been podcasting together for 4 years, at the very least. And we were doing an Overwatch podcast, very casual, just an excuse to talk about Overwatch and hang out online. And when I heard her performance on ANTP, I realized...
Please tell me this is Culinary Capers. Is this what spawned it?
No, just her entire work.
I was going to say, because Culinary Capers is like...
it's good, right?
The one thing that everybody references, and in conversations, like, okay... But like with Culinary Capers, and I'm like, if one more person on this freaking competition references Culinary Capers,
if it's any consolation, I felt the same way. They're like, yeah, but so Culinary Capers, especially when Justin said he didn't like my second one, and I was like, bitch, we're about to fight. Like, I don't.
No. So just to cut back before Jeff continues the story, for those that are blissfully unaware of the America's Next Top Podcaster competition, Amy actually won the first season, so she even has like hardware to prove it. But yeah. So, and one of the competition pieces that is most well remembered and was very well received by the judges was Culinary Capers, where you tell the story and it's just your voice and sound work, and it was incredible. It was one of my favorite things. So it's
thank you.
But yes, anyway, yes.
The thing with Culinary Caper is that it did impress me as much as anything else that Amy narrated during ANTP, but I already knew Amy was amazing about food stuff, so it's like, she makes her own marshmallows. Of course she's going to talk about food.
Yeah, the second they were like, oh yeah, it's the food show, I was like, oh shit, my wheelhouse, we're in it, let's go. I'm like, if I don't win this week, I'm like, that's it. I'm out.
I think I visually saw your hair turn Saiyan.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It's pretty impressive.
Felt real good.
So yeah, no, but listening to Amy on ANTP made me realize that she was absolutely slumming it and holding back. If you go listen to an episode of Overwatch, I mean, she's still very good, but obviously nowhere on the level of what she can put out on the NTP. I realized, all right, so we're obviously not tapping into her full potential. And I had been toying with the idea of doing some kind of serialized podcast with my writing because I write things with stories. But the idea of putting this dumb voice on a weekly podcast telling stories was kind of holding me back. And thinking, no one's going to want to listen to this. But I figured I could put 2 and 2 together and get more in the sum of our parts and get 5. It says, if I can write a cool story and Amy can narrate it, maybe we've got something.
Yeah.
But so I decided to write something specifically for Amy because I needed to charm her into saying yes to this project. So obviously I had to stay on brand for my own writing. So weird things, small town horror, that kind of stuff, which is Aquilo. But Amy you're not a horror fan per se. You're really into cooking. You're more into like these cozy type of stories. So I decide cozy horror is totally something I can do. So I started brainstorming this character and this town and the characters in the town and this whole backstory to that little tiny little city, which is based on a real city. There is a town in Quebec/Maine called BB Plains, which literally sits on the border. So this isn't something that I came up with so much. I just borrowed the theme and decided to make it Twin Peaks at the same time. So there's tiny little bits of horror, but also at the same time, it's mostly about kind of like this. We like to talk about it's a story about baking, magic, raccoons, demons. So kind of that. So it's really hard to describe because it's just something that's meant to be a little bit scary, but a lot of fun and mostly weird.
Is it like in first person?
Yes.
Are you narrating from? Okay, so.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, did you write it to beginning to end and it's all scripted? Is there a certain number of shows, or is this ongoing until you run out of ideas?
So for something like that, I had to plan more than I usually do when I write a novel because I was going to have someone else, first of all, vet it to make sure it fits with the story they want to tell, but also so I could plan an entire season. And so the way we've got sort of cut up, we have a 15 episode season, which is going to be season 1, which is pretty much just Miriam's introduction, why she's an Aquilo, and her kind of solving her first cooking/magic mystery, if you will. And this is her introduction to the very first surface layer of this weird little town with cloud worshipping cults and magic trees and stuff. So what we're hoping to do is have this first 15 season. I've got it all plotted out. I've got 3 episodes that are written. I'll have them finished editing for tomorrow. Amy, you can start recording
good.
soon.
I was gonna ask.
And I've got a few more done. I've already started writing. So basically, the idea is we're going to be at the end of October. We'll be releasing 1 episode a week of the story for 15 weeks. And if the first season goes well, if we get somewhat of a listenership, then we'll do a second season, then the third season, and just so on and so forth. Because there's a lot to tell about this little story, this little town. As I was plotting it, I was like, man, I could talk about Aquilo forever.
Nice. It's good to have whole worlds in your head, right? I'm sure that's easy to live with.
My therapist disagrees so much.
On what platforms are you going to be available?
It's fun though.
So it'll be available anywhere where your audio podcasts are found. I believe Spotify is probably where it will like live, but you'll be able to get it on, Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or literally any of them by the time I'm done with it.
Googling and I found this YouTube video about the making of Aquilo, and I see you two in it. And
that was our recent that was one of our other recent podcasts that we were on.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that we just did.
We do have a bit of content on SoundCloud that you can find at aquilo.com. We did a small Q&A with our very, very early adopter community. We had some of our friends and families and people that were interested send us questions, and we just answered them, gave a bit intro about what the setting is. Amy does a fantastic read of that just to give sort of a teaser of what the voice we can expect to hear is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's exciting because as opposed to Overcast or Overwatch podcast, which we just kind of slapped together, this is something that we've been planning for 6 months.
Yeah, at least.
And we're really putting in the effort and wanting this to be a quality thing, because I want listeners to I take it back. I don't care about the listeners so much. I want to hear a story I wrote that I'm passionate about, told by someone whom I know has an excellent voice specifically for that story.
See, that's what's awesome. It's a passion project, and that's like that's what makes it so much better. How have your readers? I mean, because obviously your success has been as an author, and of course we all read. I can't remember. Were you with us when you read? Did you read
God in the Shed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a good.
I don't know if Linda read any of them, and the other one I like too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But God in the Shed is like, I love it so much. How have your listeners, or sorry, your readers reacted to you doing a story that they're going to be able to listen to? Are they really excited for it?
The ones that I do connect to on social media have been very happy, because it's been a while since God in the Shed came out, and the sequel is probably not going to be out until January or February. I mean, that's the sequel for God in the Shed, titled Song of the Sandman, is what I handed in a couple of weeks ago. So it's in its final stages. I'm super excited to see that.
I am so excited. I finally got him to read that, and he loved it so much. He actually messaged you, and he never does that for anything. Does Life Engineered have a sequel
that
coming?
conversation? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Does Life Engineered have something?
There's a sequel to Life Engineered, but it's unfortunately, because I had to spend about a year and a half just editing and reworking and rewriting Song of the Sandman, it has been sort of put on the back burner. But it's frustrating because I have a full manuscript written. I just need to go back and reread it, make sure it's okay, and then find an editor for it.
Gotcha.
I got so many books.
Tribute. Because I'm really looking forward to that one, and I'm looking forward to this new show. Aquilo sounds right up my alley, and I just ran out of Tanis.
It sounds really interesting to me as well, and also as you're describing it, all I can think of is the main character becoming this kitchen witch.
I mean, that's
yeah,
that's pretty. I mean, I'm also.
I'm on board. Yes.
Yeah, no, I am a self-described kitchen witch. You don't grow up in New England without being a little witchy. So
me too. I have a kitchen witch's cookbook.
Exactly, and so I mean, that's one of those things, right? The first time you make marshmallows, you're like, "Fuck, this is magic."
Yes.
How did I just do this? This is great. So there's definitely some stuff. We also have it's all, I believe it's all linked on our website, but now I don't know. But there's
for it.
Oh, we have so many ideas.
There's so many plans. Oh, there are so many plans.
If season 1 goes well, there's stuff I was quote unquote negotiating some details with someone out today for some details for some production stuff, and there's so many cool things that we can do with this.
But we also have an Instagram for Aquilo, and we're pretty much everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. But our Instagram has a lot of we started out before we had any sort of internet presence for Aquilo, before we had even announced that there was something called Aquilo. On our own personal social media, we had released all of these visual teasers, and there are these little hints about what Aquilo is like. And so we've compiled them all, and now we put up new ones on our Instagram, instagram.com/Aquilo.
I do also.
So there's a few more little hints in there too.
And follow.
So I also think it's funny that we also are glossing over the fact that, as far as I understand, Overcast, is it not the longest running Overwatch podcast still? Like,
Yeah, most of them they did sort of like a couple episodes when the game was announced, and then they took some months off, and we came in like April. Was it April? February or April of like right after the BlizzCon announcement, and we talked for a year and a half before the game was out about this game.
No, and it's good coverage too. So those of you that play Overwatch, I want to mention it because I'm really excited about Aquillo, but also like coming from like a lot of work that you guys put into that, and it's great information and it's a good listen. So if you play Overwatch, go check it out, please.
Yeah, we haven't put out an episode in a couple of months, but actually after this is done, I'm going to talk to Amy about when we're recording next because I kind of really miss it.
Yeah,
now
we
that
have like a lot.
Now that I'm past this huge deadline, I'm aching to talk Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just found the picture of the raccoon.
Yeah.
Yes, raccoons.
With the glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The raccoons are probably my favorite part of Aquillo, and I can't talk about why it's driving me. I drink because of the raccoons. I love them so much.
Yeah.
So from an episode, like I'm curious, like from a production standpoint, like are we expecting that this is going to be first person narration with just soundscape? Like we're going to have some solid audio production here. Is there going to be, what does that sound like?
Yeah. So that's something that we're still hammering out some of the fine details, but I've been really into LeVar Burton Reads lately. And I love the way that they do a lot of their production work. Some of it I think is a little heavier than what we're going to wind up going with, but I love that there are some, like there will be, like if somebody knocks on the door, there's a knock on the door behind his narration, even though it's not, it's not like a Night Vale where it's the character is fully in that world and things are happening around it. It's a little stepped back from that. But yeah, no, we're absolutely going to have a lot of that stuff going on in the background. Like it'll be more than just listening to me.
I mean, not like that's not enough.
That would be fine.
I mean,
right? It's almost enough already.
Well, it sounds fantastic. I'm super looking forward to it. All of you out there, please go to aquillo.com, follow them on Instagram, and hopefully you'll check out the show when it starts in October. You can chime into our podcast and let us know what you think about us, too, by emailing us at geekgrills@gmail.com or tweeting us at geekgrills. So, if our guests have been well rubbed and marinated, speaking of cooking, Jen's gonna grill you.
I get to grill you. That's like my favorite part of the show. Pretty much it's my excuse to harass our guest. I mean, grill our guests and ask them interesting questions. Yay. So I'm gonna start with just some. I guess we're gonna go with the. I want to go back to some of our old school questions that we used to ask, mostly because I'm curious. Some of the fun questions. So this is really your first thing that comes to mind kind of questions. So rapid fire, if you will. So, and really it's just because I always like to do this one question in particular, so I have to warm you guys up with a couple others first. Okay, so what was the first thing, Amy, this is for you, what was the first thing you remember buying with your own money?
I believe it was the CD soundtrack of the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
I bought the cassette soundtrack for Phantom of the Opera. And no kidding, it was like $60. It was insane. I'm older than you, apparently. God, I'm old.
It's okay. We all feel that way. All right. All right, Jeff, this one's for you. What was the worst gift that you remember receiving? Like that one gift where you're like, ugh. Or best, if you can think of that first.
I'm drawing a blank on worst because I don't think I've ever received any gift that were really bad. Like,
wow, you're a lucky man.
I know. I'm like, right? I'm like, oh, God, that one gift. Ugh.
I wish I had like an ironic gift, like someone who gave me something that was just terrible because clearly it shouldn't have been gifted to me. And I've gotten so many good gifts. The best gift I ever got, and this is gonna sound like this is such a child thing, but I know I do have a worse gift. Wait, no, this is actually a very sad story.
Oh no!
So I've always been into like building things and modeling and stuff. And when I was a kid, probably 12 or something, I asked my dad to get me a train set, which I'm not old enough for train sets to be a very usual present to give a kid. So that's fine. I asked him like 6 months before Christmas. I said, I really want a train set. And in my mind was, I'm gonna get a train set and then I'm going to build a village around it. I'm gonna diorama the crap out of this thing. And for all these 6 months, my dad's working on stuff and he's been rebuilding this car in the garage. So I don't really ask many questions about what he's building. But when he does, like at Christmas, he unveils his gift. It is a fully dioramaed train set. I'm like, this is great, but also fucking terrible. Because the gift was for me to be able to do this thing, to be able to add to this train set, and you just did everything. And I'm like, this is the saddest thing because you put so much effort,
hours into that.
Hours. Like this was a pride, and at the same time, I was like, I can't be disappointed, but I can't not be disappointed because that, as much effort as he put, he missed the point by so much.
And better to do it with you, Dad.
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
Also,
together, maybe?
The whole thing depresses me to this day. So yeah, I do have a worse gift, but it's not like, oh, I hate the person who gave it to me because it's a stupid gift. It's like, no.
By the way, I'm now feeling really stupid about like the pajamas that were 2 sizes too small, like, or 2 sizes too big.
How about 2 sizes too small is great. That's a compliment. 2 sizes too big. It's like, whoa, what are you saying?
Until they're like, try it on, and you're like, no, I'm good. I'll wear these another time. Thanks. Thanks, Grandma. Amy, if you could stay a certain age forever, what age would it be?
35.
Oh, interesting.
35 was good. I liked 35.
I turned 35 in December. I'm not handling it well.
No, it's okay.
I'm
it's
going
okay.
into
I
a
understand.
new survey bracket. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, that's the hardest part, right? But if you can get past that,
You're
I've
in that
moved
bracket
from
for 20 years.
yeah. Well, I've moved from mid 30s to late 30s, and that's super not cool.
I just want to go back to the age where I don't have to scroll when a survey asks me what
exactly.
I was born at. I just want to click on the drop down, pick the age without hitting the scroll wheel. That would be freaking fine. I don't need that constant reminder.
Strong point. All right, let's do a would you rather.
Again, it's hurting.
Oh no, it's intense. Aging is a thing that continues to happen, and we all continue to be emotional about it.
I guess one is hurting. I don't know.
All right, let's go ahead and finish up with a would you rather. So, I like this one. Would you rather have a horrible job but be able to retire comfortably in 10 years, or have your dream job but have to work until the day you die? Ooh, both of you. Amy first, I think, maybe.
Oh, I have a horrible job that I won't be able to retire from ever, so I'm going to go with the good job and do it forever. That's fine. I mean, because that's the goal, right? I mean,
if it makes you happy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what people retire and then they do the thing that they wanted to be doing all along. So if I could just do that, then that's fine. I'll just keep going.
See, I'm with that. I feel like I would get too bored if I was retired anyway. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with myself, so I would just work anyway.
Exactly. That's why my dad hasn't retired. My mom will kill him.
All right,
how about people start throwing money at our podcast?
Well,
a good thing.
Yeah, right?
I've spent the last 4 years of my life actively trying to transition from my job in marketing, which is pretty good. Like, I love my company and all, into being able to write full time because I will never stop writing. So I would rather have the cool job that I never retire from because I already don't plan to retire. If I'm forced to work normally and then retire and write, not for a living, but write more full time, that's what I'm going to do. But that's kind of losing. If I'm going to win this game, I'm going to be able to quit in a few years and write full time. Rather either for a podcast like Aquilo or for books or both.
Or both and all of the above and what other creative projects that come up. Like, that's the best part, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. I just want to create stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing when creators, right? Creators, like, I feel like we all are just like, yeah, whatever, we do it anyway. So if we can get paid and that could be our job, yes, please.
Exactly. And I mean, as long as I'm not creating bombs and things.
Then hey, it's all good.
Or you transition like Tony Stark, and then we're good with that too.
I know.
So, girls and guests, what are you most anticipating coming up right now, Linda?
I have so much crocheting that I'm going to be doing. All the crocheting. I have to start on Christmas gifts. So that includes like a full duster for one of my relatives.
Wow.
and some cat gifts for my husband's cousin. Like, I asked, I was like, okay, this Christmas I'm going to do mostly crochet gifts. So what do you want? And she was like, I want things to dress up my cat with. Yes. I was like, okay.
I completely agree with that.
Yep.
That's what I would have asked for.
But Linda's like, the dream.
The dream. I shall make things for your kitty cat.
Does that mean you get to try it on your cat in the process and also we'll stream it? Yes, please.
I'll at least have pictures. They're going to hate me. Sally's going to run away and never speak to me again.
Softly torture your animals. I mean, just kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
Literally softly.
Aren't you? All right. And then also I'm starting now because I refuse to be crocheting up to the day before Christmas Eve ever again. That was the most stressful thing. And it was a blanket. So I was like, oh God, I have to finish. And it was bad. And then I have a commission that I just got commissioned for. I'm a podcaster. It's a crocheted parrot, which I've actually never made before, so I have to find a pattern. But it's a challenge, and I've made owls, so can't be too difficult. It's the same base. It's a bird shape, right?
I love your owls. Your owls are the cutest things ever.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about you, Jen?
Joker, I promise this time. I haven't gone to see it. I'm going to see it. I have a friggin' movie ticket. I don't even have to pay for it to go fucking see it. So I will see it this week. It will happen, I promise. Also, I'm going to continue to put hours of my life into something that's only 10 minutes long and then have people shit all over it. That's super fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good, right? Feels real good every time. Even when it goes well, you're like, it wasn't worth that.
And then they're like, everything was such a high level, so you have to understand we're really nitpicking. And I'm like, yeah, your nitpicking just feels a lot like bad.
Yeah, it feels real bad. You're like, oh, it's like 30 hours for these 10 minutes. Cool.
And they're like,
cool.
If you could have just added this in.
Next year. Stop.
Oh, you definitely should.
Oh yeah,
and like
absolutely.
we're here for you. Like you should.
Yeah, you should.
Like, but there's a support group when you're done.
Also alcohol.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
The Jury Survivors Club. It's fine.
I still love that. Like, I walked into a bar in San Diego. I had no idea that Jury was going to be there like 2 days early for TwitchCon. And I walk in the door and I'm like just trying to find a drink, and Jury just yells collusion at me like I have any control over it. Didn't even know he was there. I'm like, God damn it, I'm not even safe here in San Diego at a bar to like just chill. Oh yeah, so I'm looking forward to more of that.
And so, Amy, JF, what have you guys got going on that you're really anticipating right now?
So I just started playing Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
And this is my whole life.
I loved it.
Coming up every week. What is with this game?
It's so fun to watch.
I didn't want it to be, and it's amazing. And now, because there was a comic that was Lord No Kids, and it's just this like guy in the park with no pants and like a fancy hat. That because he has no kids, he's like, I'm just gonna follow this goose for a while. And so this has like all merged into one. And so my friend Annalise and I are now currently obsessed with geese. And so this just fits right in. So anytime she has like a problem, she'll just message me, honk.
Honk.
Yeah. No, I know.
It was such a good game. It's so
the
good.
Memes, just the meme train.
The memes are so good.
So great.
So good.
How about you, sir?
Tomorrow is Canadian Thanksgiving, so I have the day off, which I'm going to spend the entirety of just sitting down doing Aquilo stuff. And I'm super looking forward to it because that means Amy's gonna get 3 cleaned up episodes in her inbox tomorrow night, and she's gonna have to start recording.
Thank
And
goodness.
that's gonna be great because I get to start hearing about it.
Yes.
Nice.
I've got so many dumb things. I paint miniatures, and I am going to soon start painting a toddler-sized miniature, which doesn't sound like a miniature, but it's to scale. So
It's like a macroture, like a macroture. Yeah, I don't know what you call it.
it's still a miniature because of the scale. It's gonna be insane.
That sounds
I literally need a payment plan to buy the thing.
No.
What are you making? Unicron? What is it? What is scale too?
I want to know what this model is and how do you fit it into your army? Because there's no way there's points for that.
It's a 40K model. It is a Warlord Titan. I think it's 2,600 points, which is already 600 points more than the normal army.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's the points of an entire army. How do you fit that in? All right,
you only
Here's
played
the best
in
part about that.
Okay,
the rocks fall,
For
everyone
us-
dies move.
Yeah.
For us, it's just scenery.
Yeah, it's
fine.
it's a display piece. Because
Gotcha.
Amy and I are part of the same team for the Adepticon team tournament, which we plan to win the best appearance. So it gets intense, and this is my last year doing it for a little while, so it's gonna get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
you're just going extra.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Right
extra.
It's gonna be rad. So yeah, and I'm dreading my publisher coming back to me with notes on my manuscript, but so far nothing.
It's the worst, isn't it? When you're like, all right, I've got this done. You have to send it to your editor, and they send it back, and they're like, well, you need to change this, this, and this, and then you're like, but,
I don't really have a problem with it usually. Like for Life Engineered, it wasn't a big deal. Like me and the editor, we really hit it off, and it was great. Got into Shed was a bit harder, but for this one, is the first sequel I write. Sequels are very difficult because, and I could go on for like hours, but I'm just the digest version is that marrying what I want from the story and meeting reader expectations. Like for a one-off book or first book in a series, you just go, this is the story I want to tell. But then I get feedback from the first book, so I know what people are kind of expecting. It's hard to just do my own thing. I need to like find this kind of like middle ground where everything works perfectly for what I want, and while also doing what I know the readers are going to enjoy. So that takes a lot longer than just writing the notebook. But I think I found it. Hopefully my publisher agrees and we'll move on. And then third book.
I'm excited though, so this makes me very happy.
I hope people like it. It's a lot. No spoilers, but it's a little more brutal, but a lot more brutal too in the first book. Like it's I like it because it's really sad.
Awesome.
I like
That's
stories
the
with
best part
feels.
for me. I am on board
Feels.
with that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be working on some costumes. My friend Anna, who wants to be Catwoman, has asked me to make the mask. So I've been tapping my friend DJ Spider, awesome cosplayer extraordinaire, for tips and tricks, and we'll be heading to Joanne on payday and attempting something pretty wild. It's like a kind of old school full head mask.
Are you doing?
So
is it the one with the stitches? Like which Catwoman?
It doesn't have the stitching detail so much.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's got the big cat eyes and the ears attached right to it. And
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's got the eyes.
I gotcha. Yeah.
for the audio listeners, that's great. But it's the top half of the face, like eyes and up. So
it's comic book. It's not like the Halle Berry or the
Right.
It's comic book Catwoman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's not think about that.
Yeah. It's
So we're working on that. I want to see Joker. I don't know if I'm going to get to. It is by the time payday comes on Tuesday, it's not going to be in my local theater anymore, and I have to drive to go see it. So I don't know if it's going to happen. Damn it. But Adam's Family's coming out. So there's that. Remember, folks, you can always come watch us record live at twitch.tv/geekgrills on Sunday evenings, usually on Sunday evenings. Next one should be on October 20th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Linda, or Jen?
Yeah, me.
What else can people do?
In addition to the subs and bits that we get here on Twitch, just want to remind you guys that we are supported by our amazing patrons. They are the greatest grill friends on the internet. We love them. Some of them have been around for 3.5 years, which is not too shabby. You can become a patron today at patreon.com/grills. And don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime, that means you have a free sub that you can give to us every month. So give us Jeff Bezos' money. He doesn't need it. Please. Give it to us instead.
Yep.
I promise.
And another way you can show your support is by leaving us a review. You can do so on any of your podcast catchers. Sorry, my cat just had the zoomies. She ran over my feet. Leaving a review. Yeah. Leaving a review is free and they help our ranking, which can help other people find our podcast. Also, you can join our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter if you'd like to help spread the word. That just gave me a startle. I'm sorry. She's just
startling Sunday.
Yeah.
Where can we find you on the interwebs? Linda?
You can also listen to me talk about women in gaming on the Glitter Dice podcast, which comes out on the first of every month. And you can find me here on Twitch under the name True Noob. That's TRUN00B. Also, you should go see the Addams Family movie so that we can,
Don't stack the draft.
Movie draft.
Don't start. Hey, I had the Joker, by the way. We had Joker, okay? Team
Your
DKG.
time is almost over.
Oh, sorry.
Your time is up. Anyway.
Yes. BT movie draft is getting real this season. This is intense. You can find me at The Jen Says on Twitter. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheJen. That's a reminder, guys. I did actually get my name back, so I'm The Jen on Twitch. And everything I do is at thejensays.com because I still own the shit out of that domain.
Okay, you folks, plug it.
You can follow our new show, Aquilo, everywhere. Aquilo.com and on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram is Aquilo, ACHEWILLOW. I am everywhere on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, as Daniora, DANIORA. And JF over there is everywhere as JF Dubeau, DUBEAU, and JFDubeau.com.
Also, we're going to have a poem read by Amy soon on the Aquilo platform, so look out for that.
Yes.
I just want to hear your voice as much as possible, so I'm so on board.
Okay.
That's just normal.
And I can be reached at 9of12, that's NINEOF12 on Twitter and Twitch. And you can hear me on the Heresy and Hearsay podcast. Thanks for listening, everyone. Good game.
Good game.
GG.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Not a cult.
Not a cult. Hashtag not a cult. Hashtag totally.
No,
a
more
cult.
of a gang, really.
I mean, we do have the gangs. I do have a tattoo, so
Yeah.
We're throwing signs.
Okay,
yeah.
It's become a cult. When I've permanently affected my body because of it, I've decided that I can call it a cult now. All right, let's pick a show title, and then let's figure out why is somebody getting caps locked.
Oh, sorry, Grizz.
Nightbot, calm
Because I have
down.
all caps because bots come in and they do that crap, and I wanted to prevent it, so I can change Nightbot to not do that anymore.
No, it's not your fault. I just think that Nightbot needs to calm down. Nightbot thinks it's
Well,
important.
no, I need to tell Nightbot to come down. I put that setting on because all caps piss me off.
By the way, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was so
Thank you for having us.
So great, and yeah, we'll have to chat at some point when I feel like I need a good support moment. If this
Yeah.
anywhere.
No. Like
This shit is
seriously,
real.
I
real.
understand. So I had, let's see. So I had my wisdom teeth out, right? I had a nervous breakdown about that, and then I got pneumonia.
No.
So
Yeah.
and then I recorded the finale in the closet of my hotel room. While JF was sitting and painting miniatures at the desk in my hotel room the night before the event. So yeah, no, it's intense.
No, I literally was like recording things on Curly's thing, and the thing is, you question everything.
Yep.
You second guess everything that you've ever known ever, and it's so stupid because you're like, okay, was that really the right tone for that for that line? Did I was that the right tone? And you're like, okay, it's one line. Like it's not gonna matter, but it could matter.
Yeah, I still can't listen to it. Like I tried. So now like people that have gone back and listened to it, like they'll send me timestamps. And they're like, go and listen to this part. And so like the shit that they say behind the scenes, and they're like, talking about how great it was, and like, oh, and this was amazing, and da da da. But like when you're doing the recording, everything is shit, and you're like, what is happening? Like I was certain I'd lost. Like I was certain Alex had won. Like I'm listening to the comments and I'm like, okay, I'm just like, that's fine. Alex won, and that's okay.
I'm just so excited because I couldn't wait to hear. I knew that once you sunk your teeth into a project after that, it was going to be something really awesome, and this is way more than I could have possibly wanted.
So I've got a couple other
Aquilo is
things
just
too.
one of at least
minimum
two things that she's got going on.
I haven't talked to you yet about this, Jeff, but I got confirmation that my wacky plan is going to work.
Wait. Remind me what the wacky plan is?
You don't know. I don't know that you know what the wacky plan is.
I don't know that you know that I know
We need to
that
talk.
he knows.
Why am I so out of the loop about everything in your life now?
You come on our podcast to tell your
my bestie in the entire world.
No,
yeah,
I'm
no,
so
I just
excited.
out,
It's
like,
worlds
today,
colliding
so.
for me, and that makes me really happy because it's like it's great to have. Hold on. Oh, cozy horror, is that the winner?
Yeah, cozy horror is.
I think that's appropriate.
Title.
Show title,
and it's
horror.
nice and short, so I'll be able
it's not
to.
Not going to be eternal raccoons. Okay, fine.
There was something about like raccoons
spoiling the raccoon or something like that, right?
Yeah, but you don't know what it means.
I know they don't know what it means.
Cozy horror, spoiling the raccoons. Cozy horror is totally something I can do, and kitchen witch.
By the way, I think we're gonna rate
spoiling the
Alex.
raccoons where my instincts go, but don't listen to me.
Alex is currently streaming Teamfight Tactics, so let's go ahead and raid him.
Oh, that's great.
Let's bring him some sunshine. Let's see, Geek Grills, love smuggling raccoons. I don't know, somebody put something. Type words. Give me a raid call. Spoiling.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
okay, Annalise.
Means so many things.
See you next time.
Spooky raccoons.
Okay.
Spooky raccoons.
All right, guys, go. Remember, follows are free. When you get there, go ahead and bring the love to Alex. Thank you guys again so much for coming. It's been awesome.
It's okay.
Oh, no, this is fun. This is anytime.
Let's see.
You can have Amy.
I know you're a girlfriend twice over now. You're like a double honorary girlfriend at this point. That's awesome. All right, Alex.
I was getting all nervous before the show because sometimes I do when there's guests. My husband's like, "They've been on before."
No, it's like. All right, guys, go follow Alex if you're not already. They're super free, and also give him all the love when we get there.
Did you raid?
I'm doing it now.
Oh, okay.
It's going. Man, Jen, for your intro thing, by the way, I think the post-apocalyptic one was like, I wish you had done that. I want to hear that.
Oh,
I want to hear that as a show.
Oh yeah. By the way, that one was great because like I only got a little bit of credit for the script writing on that, and afterwards Tyler was like, I feel so bad because I took all the credit on that, but you would like, I was like, yeah, I only edited the whole thing and punched it up. It's fine.
I still can't. Like, I keep trying. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go listen to season 2, and I'm having like flashbacks. Like, I can't do it yet. I'm not ready.
No, it's intense. I have a hard time listening to it, and then my dad asked me about it. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no,
I'm not ready.
I can't listen to it at all. Like my season, I can't. And so yeah, like my friend January,
if I don't get
she's
in
like,
next year, I'll be timed out. I'll have been
She's like,
podcasting
no, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. There's a bunch of people that are over 5 years, and Brian let them in, so you are not going to get timed out. That is bullshit.
I mean, he told me to make an exception, but I wouldn't feel right about that.
Did you actually hit the raid button? Because we're not going anywhere.
All right, bye, guys. I love you all. Sorry.
There we go.
I forgot I have to push a button now. Okay.
Oh no, I am. I was like, what a jerk. I'm not following. Oh no, I am.
Well, when I changed my name, all my follower things came through the first time I streamed, so it was literally 45 minutes of just like follow notifications happening. Like, what is going on?
Moderators are
what is this thing?
When I first heard that
seriously have an ad right now?
Choosing to support moderators, I was really excited.
They're the first brand.
Are you really giving us ads?
I don't have audio on for these headphones.
I know. I'm trying to hear. I want to like yell at him. But I can't.
Why don't I yell at him?
Yeah, no, it's been a real freaking.
Alex and his wife went to a wedding like 20 minutes from here, and I didn't get to see him. It was like such a whirlwind trip. I was like, oh, sorry.
No, it's funny. I talk a lot of shit about it. Of course we all talk about how intense and stressful it is, but honestly, at the end of the day, I have already learned.
Oh yeah,
Stuff.
I mean,
like already, and it's great.
Yeah, and I'm